Hi, I'm Thanya. Ever wonder why your forecast keeps missing even when sales look great?
3 quarters missed? Let's find out why, not just where.
Let's start with the most common frustration in finance, repeated forecast misses. You've seen it. 3 quarters in a row, your numbers are off. The instinctive reaction? Blame the market or the sales team. But in truth, this isn't a sales problem, it's a system problem. A missed forecast often means that somewhere, assumptions no longer match reality. Maybe timing shifted, maybe FX changed, or maybe someone manually tweaked the number. The real issue is that the process lacks visibility into why deviations happen. So, next time your CFO asks, "Why did we miss again?" don't answer with guesswork. Let's use data to show exactly what happened.
Let's turn your forecast miss into insight with variance analysis.
True revenue performance is the result of multiple moving parts working together. Revenue equals volume times price times mix times timing times recognition times FX times override. Each of these elements can pull the total revenue in a different direction. Volume represents how much you sell, price defines what you sell it for, mix changes profit composition, timing affects when revenue is booked, recognition determines accounting alignment, FX introduces global exposure, and override, well, that's the human touch that often breaks it. Look at this graph. In Q1, the main variance driver is volume, sales fell short. In Q2, price drops start hurting margins. By Q3, recognition and FX shifts dominate. This is the visual power of decomposition. It tells you not just that performance changed, but why.
Let's turn your forecast miss into insight with variance analysis.
Variance analysis changes the game. Instead of only spotting a miss, it explains it. Let's imagine you budgeted to sell 10,000 units at $10 each. You actually sold 9,000 at $9.50. Volume variance shows lost quantity. Price variance captures reduced selling price. Mix variance shows how product composition shifted toward lower margin products. Let's bring this to life with a revenue gap waterfall chart. The green bar, volume impact, shows how selling fewer units directly reduced your total revenue potential. The red bars, price and mix impacts, highlight the combined drag caused by lower selling prices and a shift toward lower margin products. The final blue bar, actual revenue, is visibly shorter than your budgeted level, making the overall revenue gap clear. This visual breakdown transforms numbers into insight. You can immediately see how much of the shortfall came from volume loss, how much from price pressure, and how much from unfavorable product mix. That's the true power of variance analysis. It doesn't just show that you missed, it explains why.
Even perfect models fail when you ignore what's hidden.
Beyond volume, price, and mix lie subtle variables that silently distort forecasts. 1. Timing and recognition. Some projects recognize revenue over time, POC, while others recognize when completed, PIT. If billing is delayed, revenue slides into another quarter. 2. Manual overrides. Managers often adjust forecasts manually to smooth the results, usually without documentation. These inputs create gaps between expected and realized outcomes. 3. FX mismatches. Exchange rate volatility affects the cash inflow even when reported revenue looks correct. Now, take a close look at this chart, reported revenue versus actual cash. At first glance, the blue line, forecasted revenue, looks healthy, rising quarter after quarter from Q1 to Q4. On paper, everything seems to be going according to plan. But look at the red line, actual cash, adjusted for FX and timing. Notice how it consistently trails behind. Even as forecasted revenue climbs from 100 to 120, actual cash only moves from 95 to 109. This gap isn't just a number, it tells a story. The delay between recognition and realization reveals how revenue timing, FX mismatches, and billing delays distort the financial picture. The business may appear profitable in the forecast, but the cash hasn't actually arrived in the bank. In other words, the blue line shows optimism, the red line shows reality. And in finance, it's the red line that determines liquidity, resilience, and survival.
Your forecast looks good until you check the cash.
Many organizations celebrate a perfect forecast that looks impressive on screen. But when you trace it to cash inflow, the optimism fades fast. The difference lies in what's adjusted and what's not. In Q1, the gap is small, it looks manageable. But by Q3, unadjusted forecasts keep inflating while adjusted forecasts track closer to reality. Actual cash barely catches up. This visual tells you exactly how much optimism costs. The good-looking forecast is usually filled with untested assumptions or manual tweaks. Adjusted forecasts filter out that noise, revealing the truth behind performance.
Stop predicting. Start protecting with data that warns before it's too late.
Forecasting should not only predict, it should protect. Variance Insight enables finance leaders to identify which variable contributes most to deviation and take corrective action early. When you merge variance analysis with rolling forecasts and EVM principles, you don't just explain the past, you prevent the next failure. The goal is no longer to guess better, but to detect distortions faster, quantify risks, and act decisively before board meetings turn into crisis reviews.
Forecasting isn't prediction, it's protection. Subscribe and let's build smarter finance together.
So, what's the takeaway? Forecasting is not about perfection, it's about protection. Every missed forecast carries a story, and Variance Insight helps you uncover it before it repeats. If you found this useful, subscribe for more finance insights with me, Thanya. And tell me in the comments, which hidden variable has caused the biggest surprise in your forecasts. Let's discuss it.